I bet you didn't think we were coming. Welcome, and we are live in the studio with the one and only Illinois Juneteenth Committee. And we're so happy that you could join us today. Oh, we have such a special guest in the house. Today we will be speaking to Miss Illinois Juneteenth Queen and National Essay winner, Grace Glass. All right. We also have her lovely mother joining us, Miss Catrice Ballard. And we cannot forget our vice chair of the Miss Illinois Juneteenth Scholarship Pageant Program, Dr. Warletta Brookins in the house.
But first of all, we need to make sure that we welcomed you, but we didn't tell you that your host this evening is none other than the president of Illinois Juneteenth, Stephanie Taylor.
Thank you. Teamwork makes the dream work. And I understand that Victoria's Life has a special singer with us today. Is that right, Dr. Brookins?
We certainly do. Victoria's Life International and World Changers Prep Academy. We have a young lady who kind of transitioned out, and but she's here with us today, and she's going to sing for us and welcome us to this momentous occasion. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to give it up, studio audience, for Miss Delisha Jones. She'll come and sing a song for us.
All right, come on down.
I've been walking with my face turned to the sun. Weight on my shoulders, a bullet in my gun. Oh, I got eyes in the back of my head, just in case I have to run. I do what I can when I can, while I can for my people. While the clouds roll back and the stars fill the night, that's when I'm gonna stand up, take my people with me. Together we are going to a brand new home. Far across the river, can you hear freedom calling? Calling me to answer, gonna keep on keeping on. I can feel it in my bones. Early in the morning, before the sun begins to shine, we're gonna start moving towards that separating line. I'm wading through muddy water. You know I gotta make a run. And I don't mind if I lose any blood on the way lead to salvation. And I'll fight with the strength that I got until I die. So I'm gonna stand up, take my people with me. Together we are going to a brand new home. Far across the river, can you hear freedom calling? Calling me to enter, gonna keep on keeping on. And I know what's around the bend might be hard to fight 'cause I'm alone. And I just wanna fail, but you know I'll try. Just as real as the sky. Stand up, take my people with me. Together we are going to a brand new home. Far across the river, do you hear freedom calling? Calling me to answer, gonna keep on keeping on. I'm gonna stand up, take my people with me. Together we are going to a brand new home. Far across the river, do you hear freedom calling? Calling me to answer, gonna keep on keeping on. I'm gonna stand up, take my people with me. Together we are going to a brand new home. The river, I hear freedom calling, calling me to answer, gonna keep on. I can feel it in my bones.
All right.
Yes, yes, yes.
Black History Month, baby.
Exactly.
Yes,
We
making
got
history.
talent beyond no other.
Thank you.
Awesome, awesome,
Thank
awesome.
you.
Thank you. We thank you.
And you know, that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. Excellence, specifically Black excellence. And I think it's safe to say this student is going places. And we might need to expect her like you expect Jesus, right? Because I think she's coming. That's right, y'all. Give it up. Give it up.
Yes, 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 yes.
And speaking on Black excellence, again, our guest today is Miss Grace Glass, Miss Illinois Juneteenth, the Queen.
And she truly represents that Black excellence
Yes, she
every
does.
day.
Thank you.
Yes, she does. Yes, she does. So, why don't you start off by telling us and the audience some things about you, Grace? Who is Grace Glass, the Queen?
Well, first off, that song took me all the way back to when I was in the pageant to become Miss Illinois Juneteenth. That was kind of where the song became something bigger to me. So I love your selection. Um, a little bit about me. I am a senior at Belleville West High School. I'm 18. Um, I am an honor student. I enjoy meditation, taking goofy pictures of the sun, hanging out with my friends, and typical teenage things. But I also have a deep passion for advocacy and creating safe spaces for Black women.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely. So, is that part of your decision to even run for the Juneteenth Queen? Tell us about that. Why?
My journey to the crown was a bit unconventional.
Yes.
After I am not a pageant girl by any means, but after the events of 2020 and with the pandemic and the very, very, very horrible treatment of African Americans, it kind of shook something in me to say the journey has to start with me. I have to do something.
That's
I
right.
felt very helpless sitting on the couch and watching headline after headline of people who looked like me. And I feel like this is my way of contributing to that, to better that image, to bring that excellence back to the forefront, to create positive change.
And our youth have a stake in that, isn't that right, Dr. Burke?
Absolutely. We have to. What do you often say, Grace, when it comes to change?
I often say you have to be the change that you would like to see.
Absolutely. And that is such a powerful statement coming from a young lady, but it
Yes.
rings so true.
Yes.
And we do have to be that change. And it's good that young people can encourage each other. Be the change. Don't sit there docile doing something, but tell us a little more about your experience in this whole process, Grace.
It's really been kind of a whirlwind for me. It's opened up a new um world in terms of meeting people. I think that's been my favorite part is just seeing people and hearing their stories and their own journeys with activism and just their joy and excitement for representation, especially of Juneteenth itself. So in for example in the national pageant, just hearing every girl's story as to why they got into it, it created a sort of like sisterhood that
Yes.
I like will never forget.
That is wonderful.
Well, I certainly hope the bond will last always as well.
Absolutely. Now, did you feel like there was any challenges in your preparing for the talent show? Talent pageant?
Absolutely, absolutely. I struggle a lot with self confidence, and I
Really?
think it's very important to be open about that because it's something that a lot of young women struggle to come into. I can only tell people what I continuously tell myself, which is that you matter, you got this. Um, you are being the change that you would like to see. You're doing something. You have a purpose. You can reach people, and I think that is the most important part.
That's absolutely right. And if your dreams don't scare you, they're really not big enough.
That really stuck with me throughout it because I would get scared. That anxiety would creep back into me, and I would feel that fear. But you have to not be afraid to dream.
And I know when you're in a pageant, you're not alone.
Right.
You are not alone. It takes teamwork. It takes a lot.
Yes.
It doesn't. You're not just the pageant person. The members of your family are also.
Mm.
Yes.
Your mom plays a major role. So at this time, I'd like to hear a little bit about your experiences, Ms. Ballard Glass. Please share with us your experience in the
Wonderful
process.
ally throughout the process.
So if you know anything about me, where my baby goes, I go. So this is how I parent. But it has been wonderful watching her because in Galveston particularly, there was a lot. Scheduling, she had to be where she had to be. I couldn't go with her. I couldn't be behind the scenes, making sure her hair was the way she wanted it, helping her out wardrobe. She's on her own. She's very independent, self sufficient, and I'm extremely proud of her for that. But I'm still her mother, and I want to be there holding her hand, and I couldn't. But it was just watching her and the other queens do what they had to do. I would walk out and of the hotel and see them posing for the camera. I'm like, oh wow, is that my baby? Wow. So just watching her blossom before my eyes and knowing that she's actually got this. She's about to go off to college in the fall, and most parents, worry they're leaving home for the first time. How are they going to be? After watching her compete and watching her handle her business, I have no worries. She's got this. So it's been a blessing to see.
You've done a wonderful job.
Thank you.
A wonderful
Absolutely.
job.
Thank you.
But one major question we have, and going back to Grace, the main thing we're talking about here, and the wave of freedom. Think about that. Think about the song that was sang. Talk to us about what that means for you.
Freedom for me means it kind of separates into two different realms. Autonomy over your own person,
Right.
and then freedom systemically. So you've got, I can do what I want, I can vote for who I want, I can live where I like. That's the freedom. I can enjoy places. I can be in the park. I can be out with my family. That is the everyday freedoms that I think we take for granted, but we as Black people are always kind of reminded of, as you can see in the media. But I think it's important for us to remember that we have that freedom. It's ours. And we get to use it and express it however we choose. There's also freedom that I feel systemically. There's a lot that we are still overcoming.
Yes.
For instance, there is redlining. There's a lot of practices about Black women medically that don't align with modern medicine. So systemically is also systemic freedom is also important because that boosts equity.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. And I think we also need to take a look at even some of the terminology used. We put things like diversity, equity, equality, and we throw it in this big mixing bowl
Yes.
without people really delving into what some of those words mean. So when I think about empowerment and some of the issues that you advocate for on your platform, why don't you talk a bit about some of
Yes.
those?
My overall umbrella that I operate under,
Umbrella.
umbrella
Okay.
that I operate off of, is women's empowerment, especially through body positivity, the amplification of Black women's voices, and self care.
Mhm.
We have to put ourselves first. We have to see ourselves in that high regard, have confidence when there is none, and lift each other up. That is the biggest part of women's empowerment, to advocate for each other, to lift each other up. Your crown should not tilt in your sister's.
All right.
I think
That
we
is
should do
excellent.
that. Was so poetic.
That, exactly.
The finger snap.
Nap on that one. That
Okay,
was
so Mom, why do you feel that the Miss Illinois Juneteenth Scholarship Pageant Program is important?
So we, as Grace said, we are not pageant people, okay? But her experience in this, just the teamwork, the having the mentors, having the sisterhood, having the experience of working with these other contestants for the same goal, but still uplifting one another. Um, it was beautiful to watch. It's definitely a journey. So just
Not for the faint of heart.
not for the faint of heart, but just from the local pageant, we learned a lot. I've watched her gain so much more confidence. I mean, she had to, because the thing is, she knows quite a bit on her own, but just to her,
Mhm.
to hear her think of things broader than what I could even think that she knew, I was like, oh, she's got an opinion on that, and she's well read on that, and she understands. Okay, my baby isn't just a baby, so I get it, and I appreciate just the pageant giving her the opportunity to voice her opinions and have a platform. It has been very empowering for her. It's been exciting to watch for me and my family. And to the next crowned Juneteenth, I'm here. I'm here to support you through it.
I think
It's
as
been
one of
great.
the inaugural mothers,
yes.
we look forward to you being there. We look forward to Grace being there and giving some words of encouragement to that next queen that will come after you. And we just, it's just amazing to watch the development and the strength that it takes to stand in the midst. I mean, everyone was beautiful, everyone was talented,
Yes.
Of course.
but the sisterhood was unmatched. And I think what you brought to the table that we saw was something that can only come out of Southern Illinois. Illinois changes a lot of laws, and we set the pace for a lot of things. Just as we did when we went to your community and made sure that everyone was able to get time off as it relates to Juneteenth. You're also a culture bringer for your community.
Absolutely.
The wave of freedom, we need to move that forward and include more young people. Bring in your peers. How do you think that we can do that? And are you prepared to hold other podcasts with your peers leading that journey?
Absolutely. I operate in a circle of Black excellence, which is not easy. I want to preface by saying that Black excellence is not easy. It takes work, it takes dedication, and it takes a certain self assurance, and you have to motivate yourself. Like, I can do this. It is possible, and it happens all the time, but not without that hard work behind the scenes. I think that there are people all around Southern Illinois. I see, I hear, I listen, I'm in awe, and we learn from each other, which is the most important part about not only having those spaces, but about continuing to put those people in center and like in the front.
Mhm.
You give them that opportunity, that space. That's why this pageant is so important, because you give young Black women the opportunity to not only shine light on themselves and what they've been doing, but on what their community is doing, what their
Right.
peers are doing, what their thoughts are. You don't just speak for yourself, but you represent not only a greater concept, but greater people.
Right, right. And I understand that you will be going into, what is it, Mason Clark Middle to talk about
Oh
voter
yes,
engagement, right?
yes, I will. I will. I'm
Symposium.
so excited about it. I feel kind of shocked that sometimes that
Mhm.
people will still like hear me speak and that they are willing to hear what I have to say. And then that's where that reassurance comes in. You know, I have something to share, and we all have to learn from each other.
Mhm.
It's when you create those spaces, those opportunities, those conversations that change really is allowed to thrive.
Absolutely. And now, just delving a bit deeper into the wave of freedom. Illinois is working on reparations. And how do you feel about that? Reparations, what do you think? Have you ever thought of that?
Actually, I have. I know Illinois has some history in Evanston, which causes a lot of conversation, which is great. It caused a lot of conversation around the country of what reparations look like for Black people.
Right.
I think for youth, that can specifically look like access to education. It is very expensive to go to college.
Yes, it is.
I know I am a senior on that college track. So if you a senior, I am with you.
Yes.
Okay.
So
It
am I.
is right. We are together. I mean, it goes as far back to the 40 acres in a mule that we were promised.
Right.
So
Here, here.
I feel that specifically what that can look like for youth is that access to
Absolutely.
And education is so important. When we think about reparations, when we think about what you're learning in school, and we talk about Juneteenth, what experiences have you had in terms of these type of topics in school? Are they talked about at all?
they are not always talked about. I find that you have to seek those spaces out.
Yes.
I know at Belleville West there is the Next Generation Club, which I'm also a part of. It's a space for Black honor students, but there are multiple spaces there. You either have to go seek them out or create them yourselves, which I think they should be kind of promoted on a bigger platform. I take African American literature, and I will say that is the most I have learned, not only about myself, about my culture, but about literature, period, at school ever. I think that class should be taught not only just for Black people, but for everyone so they can experience where we're coming from, so they can understand us a little bit more.
Mhm. Thank you.
So you're saying it shouldn't just be an elective. This should be part of the core curriculum for everyone, correct?
Yes. Yes. And even if it is an elective, have it promoted. Say that it's something important. Acknowledge that, and don't just seek out who you think would be a good fit for it. It should be on a bigger platform.
Well, as the vice chair of the Illinois Reparations Committee, Commissioner Taylor would like to ask you to maybe even think about being a spokesperson, especially coming from Southern Illinois. Help us to raise awareness and get youth involved in what their future looks like as we make some of these changes. As we know, Juneteenth, when that bomb dropped, it spread across the country.
Absolutely.
Yes.
When
Yes.
Lincoln said Emancipation Proclamation, it spread across the country. And now that we are saying reparations, it would be fitting for Miss Illinois Juneteenth to be part of that history as well. Okay? So I invite you formally to participate with us on this journey and lift that voice here in Southern Illinois.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. And I know we have a lot of people chiming in from all over the state because Miss Illinois Juneteenth is representative of the entire state of Illinois.
Absolutely.
So we're wanting to, and it's about that time
yes.
that we're recruiting now for people who may be interested in becoming the new Miss Illinois Juneteenth. And I just want to know from you, Grace, what would you tell them? And
Yes.
also from you, Catrice, what would you tell the parents of people who aspire to be the new Miss Illinois Juneteenth?
I'd say to push your comfort zone. We've said multiple times that we are not pageant people, but I think the thing that pushes me through all of the anxieties that can come with it is that you are a part of something greater. You join with like-minded people on an activism journey that not only opens up yourself to the concept and the history and the culture, but the communities around you. It kind of propels you to this untapped world of Juneteenth itself. You, for the national pageant, you
Yes.
go and see
Everything.
you go and see everything. I've seen the museums there. It's absolutely beautiful.
Yes,
Absolutely
yes.
amazing. I'd say that this pageant is important, and it's important for young women, especially young Black women, because it does so much, not just for yourself but for your community.
Can you tell us one? Absolutely. Go ahead. Please.
So I've learned working with her in the pageant journey. I think we've gotten closer. Our communication has gotten better. I know how to advocate for her. I know when to fall back now and let her. We've got a nice little rhythm going now. We do.
Good.
But I would say if you're a parent of a contestant of the future Miss Juneteenth, let them shine. Let them take the lead. Figure out when to fall back and just kind of be an advocate for them when you need it, and let them go forward. I mean, it was a lot for me not to be Mama Bear, so let them be their authentic selves, and they'll shine through.
Okay, and I think we do have an image of Miss Illinois when she won the essay, the national essay.
Yeah.
If we have a picture of that, I would love for that image to go up. Great job.
Absolutely.
Illinois has beauty and it has brains.
First
All
place.
right.
Thank you.
How did that feel when you won? Were you expecting it?
I was shocked. We had a bit of a Steve Harvey
Yes,
moment
we
in
did.
the beginning, but I think it really just validated my purpose. It was the raw, honest me, and it was my plan. It was my layout. If I go on the national level, this is what you will get from me. This is what I do for Illinois, and this is what I can do for the country.
Absolutely. Say
Well,
it loud, say it proud.
Well, I certainly hope that we will someday see you on the national level because Juneteenth is only the beginning for you. We realize that, but and you show that you can handle it wherever you go.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I just want to touch on even violence, though. Violence in our community. Um, what do you think? Do you think that disarming is the answer?
I think, as corny as it may sound, creative outlets
Yes,
are the answer.
another
Um,
solution.
Resources, outreach, mentors, mentees, that willingness, that bond between what you could possibly get into, what you can possibly experience, because violence is the sad reality that we live with. But if you have that escape, if you have that passion that you feel, nurture the youth's passion, recognize what they want, and they can find themselves out of it.
Thank you.
That's powerful. That is pretty powerful.
Absolutely. I would say put the image up again of our queen and the flyer because our queen is Black excellence. She deserves to be standing amongst those who make history. She is a trailblazer, and that is what CDSS and Illinois Juneteenth Committee will continue to do. We bridge the gap and we break the barriers because we believe in equity. We believe everyone should have an equal opportunity to thrive on God's green earth. And we have a wonderful representative in the spirit of Miss Grace Glass.
Absolutely.
And we thank you for being the ambassador that you are. We thank you so much.
And if you think about it, we've seen you all over the place,
Mhm.
doing a
Yes.
variety of things,
Yeah.
advocating for the importance of voting, attending and speaking at the NAACP banquet.
She was
Just,
honored there, correct?
She
Yeah.
and
As-
you. What you win there? What did you win?
I won the scrapper contest.
Absolutely.
Charles H. Lawson scrapbook
Just the
winner.
winner.
So she has been involved. She's been doing things across the community, and every test is supposed to be a testimony. We know that this journey with our first inaugural Juneteenth was not without bumps in the road.
Right.
And she took those bumps, she and mom, and they worked with us.
Graciously.
And they were understanding as we experienced growing pains. So next year we hope that everything will be bigger and better. We hope that we'll have contestants from all over the state who will come and compete to represent Illinois
Absolutely.
in the national pageant and just continue to move forward and promote reparations, promote freedom, and understand what Juneteenth is really all about
That's right.
because it's bigger than all of us.
Absolutely.
Now, we do have the pageant information
Please go
if I
ahead.
can share that.
Mhm.
The Illinois Juneteenth Committee proudly presents our second Miss Illinois Scholarship Pageant 2023. The Illinois Juneteenth Committee gives a platform to showcase talent while encouraging and applauding educational accomplishments and mentors to support their goals for higher education. Our mission is to produce a statewide queen, Juneteenth queen, To represent Illinois, Miss Illinois Juneteenth will compete nationally for a chance to represent the spirit of Juneteenth across the United States of America. Contestants that we are seeking must be between the ages of 15 and 18, be in good health, good moral character, and born a female. Not consume any illegal substances that renders harm to her body, mind, and spirit, and can effectively advocate for change or development. Uh, Determine a social advocacy platform, social issues or cause that they want to advocate for throughout the state and country. Attend required engagements or events that pertain to Juneteenth or promotion thereof. Be ready, willing, and able to meet the time commitment and responsibilities of the 1 year reign or tenure as set forth in the National Miss Juneteenth Scholarship Pageant Program official rules and guidelines. So, ladies, if you are between the ages of 15 and 18, and you've seen the role model that we have here, you too could be next. And we invite you to explore the Illinois Juneteenth website and fill out an application and just be involved. Madam Chair, is there anything I've missed or that you would like to add?
Just that we have to keep the wave of freedom going. We can't allow our history and our destiny to be molded by anyone other than the African descendant citizens in the United States, specifically here in Illinois. And we stand with our Juneteenth Queen to bring voice to the spirit and the movement. We deserve freedom, and we deserve justice, and we deserve repair in the form of reparations for the things that have been done and still continue to be done in our country. This Black History Month was all about making history with Miss Grace Glass and introducing her to you one more time so you can understand who we have representing the entire state of Illinois. So I thank you for your time. If you are interested in the pageant, please go to Miss Illinois Juneteenth Scholarship Pageant Program page. Send us a message. Visit us on Illinois Juneteenth Committee and also Illinois Juneteenth Committee Metro East. I cannot forget to lift up Miss Illinois Juneteenth USA, the sorority of Sigma Gamma Rho, and also to my lovely and supportive Vice Chair, Dr. Brookings, for all you do.
Thank you. Thank you. But I have to say, I'm not alone. When you get me, you got Victorious Life International, our 501c organization, and World Changers Prep Academy. So we have a whole team behind us, working with us, supporting us.
And we do better than GEDs with World Changers, right?
Absolutely, we are. We know that the regular academic setting isn't for everyone, but World Changers Prep Academy, we provide high school diplomas. So check us out, VLI-INTL.org. Look up World Changers. We are a high school program, a private high school that provides opportunities for young and adults as well. Currently, we target ages grades 6 through 12, and we're welcoming people in. We have enrollment open right now.
All right, so get in, make your next move, your best move. I'm going to turn over the mic to our Vice President, Mr. Terrence Taylor. He's going to give you just a little bit of information on the Illinois Juneteenth Committee as we close out for the evening. And we thank you so much for joining us. Black History Month, baby.
All right, all right. Now, everybody pretty much knows me. I'm Terrence Taylor. I'm co-chair as well of the Illinois Juneteenth Committee, as well as vice president of Community Development Sustainable Solutions. And I will just give you a brief history of Juneteenth in the state of Illinois. 2022 marks our 157th year since the people of Galveston, Texas were informed that they were free. It took 2.5 years after President Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation of Slavery in the United States. 2022 also marks our first year celebrating this historic event as a nationally recognized paid holiday.
That's right.
All right. 2022 also marks the 11th year CDSS began waking up communities across Southern Illinois around the importance of remembering and repairing historic problems. 2021, after working with the local villages, cities, and townships in Southern Illinois, St. Clair County, Illinois proclaimed Juneteenth a paid holiday.
All right.
2021 Illinois Juneteenth Committee and CDSS headed to Cook County, Chicago, and watched our national flag be raised as the holiday was proclaimed by the mayor as a result of our collective efforts in Chicago.
That's right, baby. IJC.
In 2021, also, Governor J.B. Pritzker invited us to the state capitol in the Abraham Lincoln Room to witness the signing of Juneteenth legislation for the state of Illinois.
All right.
Big thing, y'all. We got to actually see the Emancipation Proclamation, the original copy,
Yes.
and held it in our hands.
Yes.
Yes. President Joe Biden signs 2021. President Joe Biden signs national holiday into law with our partner, Miss Opal Lee, standing right beside him, y'all.
All right, Opal. Grandmother of Juneteenth.
In Illinois, y'all, East St. Louis was the first to proclaim Juneteenth as a holiday. I want y'all to understand that.
East Side.
That's right. East St. Louis was also the first flag raising of the Juneteenth flag in the state of Illinois. I want y'all to know that too. St. Clair County, our county, was the first county in Illinois to actually proclaim Juneteenth as a national holiday. I want y'all to
All
understand.
right.
Chicago was the second.
Yes, yes.
Y'all know they ain't gonna like that, but y'all was second. Forest Park out there, a suburb outside of Chicago, was the third for the flag raising. We are the city of champions in the land of Lincoln, and we will always be 89 blocks strong, baby.
All right. Happy Black History Month, everyone. All right. Thank you.